Right, ladies and gentlemen, we're now going to have a non-musical entrance by Mr. Arron Startex there. He's going to give a reading on a subject of his choice. I hope you'll enjoy it. Please welcome him onto the stage.
In the late 1980s, comedian and philosopher Bill Hicks would often say this during his shows: all matter is merely energy condensed to a slow vibration. We are all one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. There is no such thing as death, life is only a dream, and we are the imagination of ourselves. I thought that'd be a good way to sort of bring in what I'm going to talk about today. Before I get into detail, I'll just give you a brief overview of how I got here and who I am. Back when I was young at school, I kind of never quite fitted in because of, you know, what the education system's like. And I rebelled against school quite a lot. And when I left school, I almost left feeling like I never wanted to look at a book again, because the whole system of it had made me, at times, hate learning, because it was force-fed, you know. Do this algebra, but I don't understand. Do it, you got GCSEs coming up. And it's kind of scary. And it left me with a dislike for learning things, which surely is the opposite point of all this. And outside of school, I had a few friends, but I kind of never quite fitted in there either. It always seemed to be me literally sitting in a corner, kind of watching these strange, seemingly to them important daily occurrences. Oh, sort of like, you know, Joe's not your friend anymore, and Kirsty says you're dumped, and all this sort of stuff would go on. And it was all ridiculous to me anyway. And it went on like this for a long time. And about 3 years ago now, someone sent me a link to the Zeitgeist film on Facebook, which is why we're here today. And I'd never heard of it before, but it had a little message underneath, and it said, watch it, watch all of it. So I thought, all right, I'll play it. And I saw it was 2 hours long, and I thought, I don't know, watch something that's 2 hours. But I did anyway, and of course by the end of it I was just blown away. I was just like, wow, there's actually other people in the world asking similar questions that I've been asking like most of my life. So I guess that kind of kick-started me on a quest to find out more stuff. So anyway, for a few years I continued researching this stuff deeper and deeper, kind of falling down the rabbit hole of information. And eventually I thought, wow, I have to tell someone else about this. Surely people are as interested as I am. So one night, I think it was just before Christmas, about a year ago I think now, I was down the pub with 3 of my mates, and I think I'd had a few, to be honest. But I started telling them about all this stuff I'd found out, and this kind of went on for a few hours. But sure enough, by the end of the night, they'd actually come to the conclusion that I was a raving lunatic. But true story. But I must have had some impact, because James down there, he was there that night, and he's come here today. So anyway, since then I've compiled the research much better, and this is the conclusions that I came to. So, consciousness. There is an ocean of pure and vibrant consciousness inside of all of us. This is what we call our thought process. Matter exists only by virtue of a force which brings the particle of an atom to vibration. We must assume behind this force the existence of a conscious and intelligent mind. To most people, the solidity of the world must seem totally indisputable. As a fixed thing that you can see and touch, your body also seems reassuringly solid. But, as Einstein's modern physics has shown us, this solidity is merely a mirage of our perception. There is no solidity. Everything we have around us, even the things that are invisible to our perception, such as the air, all of it is a result of an atomic vibrating frequency. Everything is made up of the same thing, and thus everything is connected, everything is one. That's where those phrases come from. We only perceive things as separate solid and non-solid objects because our senses are decoding it as separate. You see, the reason it's important to understand this is because belief that the substance of the universe is separate pieces of matter can lead to fear and division. That is why the mainstream media like to drum it into us so much that we are separate, because we're more controllable like that. We give away our powers, trying to accumulate as many material possessions and riches as possible throughout our lives. So, positive thinking. Business people do it, as do football players, imagining and envisioning themselves winning. It can work for them, and it can work for us too, imagining a world of peace. And it works because our every conscious thought starts to build our reality, like a spider spinning a web. At a subatomic level, reality behaves in accordance with the expectation of the observer. What science is now showing us is that when you change the field the atom is in, the atom itself changes. And as us and everything else have made of those atoms, when we have strong feelings about something, we are changing the field that connects the stuff that everything is made of. Thus, we are literally altering our physical reality. It's the direct act of our consciousness observing and wanting to experience the world around us that is allowing us to create our reality as we go. We will never find the edge of the universe, we can't. The reason for this is that everywhere we look, everywhere our consciousness looks with its want to experience new things, with the expectation that something will be there, that act of observation is the act that creates something for us to see. We are literally building our universe as we go. Consciousness is the programming language of the universe, and we are consciousness conductors. Now, if you're someone who switches off your mind and are simply sucked into the mainstream media's illusions, then you must understand that you are being used because you are creating your reality. And if you are manipulated, your creation becomes not your own, but somebody else's, hence the government's. So my point is, what if everybody here today took hold of their thoughts and their feelings and put them to a positive use? Projection of goal. Every morning, here's a little phrase I say to myself. I say, just a simple phrase, I say, every day, in every way, it's getting better and better and better. Simple thoughts like that phrase can set a more positive outlook on things. It's like Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. So, let's imagine a better future for ourselves and stop aiding the creation of a society that feels separate. Stop aiding the media's glorification of wars. And instead of an education system that brings children up to be consumers, another cog in the machine, only learning for the sake of a grade, how about making all knowledge available for free, for everybody, not just those who can afford the education? Schools should be a place where people want to go to aid their creativity, rather than being a prison for the mind. Maybe then we can form a better reality that we want, rather than the reality that we're being pushed into to keep the governments fat and rich. Maybe then, and only then, can we wake up to see the truth that we are all in this together. Maybe then we will have a world of peace. Thank you. And I'd just like to thank Bruce as well for bringing me out today, because I'd have never done that without him. And also, check out my website if you want to know more stuff. It's nutters.tv. I thought it was quite apt. And yeah, nutters.tv. And I'm here all day, so if you want to have a chat, I'm just over there by the cameras. So, thank you everybody.